Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
A show that ran during the last month of the Jack Benny program on radio, the news shows. They ran in reruns for occasion up until around 1960. But here's an episode of the Jack Benny Show from May 1st, 1955. And I think you'll find this typical of the Jack Benny shows of the era.
Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Rochester, Dennis Day, Bob Crosby, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight Jack Benny does his last television show of the season. But meanwhile, let's go back to yesterday. It's spring again. And as we take you out to Jack's home in Beverly Hills, we find Rochester up in the attic, busy with the spring cleaning.
Well, I got all the magazines stacked up. Now I'll move this box over and... Hello, what's this? I never saw these before. A bundle of Mr. Benny's old love letters. I wonder if I should... No, I'd be a heel if I read them. But nobody would know I'm a heel but me, and I ain't gonna tell anybody. I think I'll open this pink one first. Well, look at this. My darling Blossom boy. I've been thinking of you all day. I still thrill to the memory of how you said goodnight to me and crushed me in your powerful arms. Powerful arms. That can't be the boss. I know how excited you must be about having been elected captain of our school football team, but I can't get over your reluctance to talk about it. You're so modest. Modest? That can't be the boss. We sure had fun celebrating your election at the ice cream parlor. And wasn't it lucky I had my purse when you discovered you forgot your money? That's my boy. Thank you for inviting me to go to the junior prom with you on Friday night. But I'd better meet you on the corner. You see, Daddy is very angry with you, and in a way I don't blame him. I know that business is business, but why did you have to foreclose on our house? And another thing...
Now, Rochester, when you finish up here in the attic, Hey, what are you doing with those old letters?
I'm putting them away.
Rochester, have you been reading my old love letters?
Oh, no, boss, not me.
Well, then put them away and straighten up this pile of books in the corner.
Okay, Blossom boy.
Oh, so you have been reading them.
Just one of them, boss. The one that signed Eloise.
Eloise. Oh, yes. Eloise Stanley. Rochester, you should have seen her. Long golden curls, big brown eyes, rosy cheeks, dimples. When she smiled, she was the silliest looking dame you ever saw. Now, come on, let's finish straightening the attic. Put that carton on top of the trunk.
Yes, sir. How about putting the... Boss, what are you looking at?
This old picture album. Most of them were taken when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. Say, who's that man in this picture here? A relative?
No, he was my first violin teacher. May he rest in peace. And oh, look, here's a picture of me taken when I was 2 years old. Look at me lying there in bed, hugging that big teddy bear.
Yeah. Doggone, it's almost as big as the one you sleep with now.
Not quite. And this is my sister, Florence.
Who's that on the other page?
Oh, that's my second violin teacher. May he rest in peace. Oh, look, here's a picture of my graduating class in grammar school.
Gee, they sure are a nice-looking bunch of kids. Wait a minute, boss, I don't see you.
Well, I took the picture. See, I had a little photography business on the side. And look, here's a picture of our house in Waukegan.
It sure is a nice place. Who's the man standing out in front?
Oh, he's my third violin teacher.
Is he resting in peace?
I don't know. He ran away and joined the Foreign Legion. And Rochester, here's the picture of... Oh, that must be some of my gang. We're going to rehearse here today.
You want me to come down and take notes?
No, I think there'll be a lot of changes in the script, so I asked my secretary, Jeanette Iman, to come over. See you later. Gee, seeing all those pictures reminds me of the very first violin concert I gave before an audience of thousands of people. May they rest in peace. What memories. Coming. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
What are you giggling about, kid?
Well, this morning I went out in my yard and I caught a gopher.
Why should that make you laugh?
I got him in my shirt and he tickles.
Dennis, you got a gopher inside your shirt?
No, I just said that for a joke. But why didn't you laugh?
A joke?
You got no sense of humor at all.
Look.
No wonder they put your program on Sunday when people are at church.
Close the door and come inside.
Oh, am I on time for rehearsal?
You're the first one here. I asked you to come a little early on purpose. I sent you your new contract, Dennis, last week. Have you signed it?
Well, no, it hasn't come back from the doctor yet.
The doctor?
My mother knows how you like to hide clauses, so she's having it x-rayed.
Oh, your mother. She's never satisfied with anything.
Oh, you're wrong about that, Mr. Benny. She liked the present I gave her this morning for her birthday.
Say, today is her birthday.
Uh-huh.
What'd you give her your mother, Dennis?
Well, something she's always wanted. So I had them made for her. A set of dishes, and every dish is shaped like an L.
Why would your mother want all her dishes L-shaped?
When she throws them at my father, in case she misses, they come back to her.
L-shaped dishes? That's the silliest thing I ever heard of.
Yeah, she hasn't missed in 20 years.
That I can believe.
Well, what did you receive on my mother's birthday, Mr. Benny?
Dennis, why should I get presents on your mother's birthday?
Oh, it's in our contract.
Oh, yes.
Gee, I don't know what to get you for Labor Day.
You'll think of something. Now, Dennis, what song are you going to do on the program this Sunday?
Well, I've had a lot of requests to do An Irishman Will Steal Your Heart Away.
Good. Now, run over it once, just for me, before the rest of the gang gets here for rehearsal.
Yes, sir.
By the way, if you've been listening to our show for some time, you know that I asked a question a while back why there were no references during this last season, even up until the last show, and they said we'll be back in the fall. Why there were no additional shows. It turns out that the American Tobacco Company, the Lucky Strike people, decided that they weren't going to sponsor another season on radio, that they just wanted to sponsor television. And so just like that, without any notice, without any big fanfare, the Jack Benny Show disappeared from radio. It's sad that it went the way it did with no fanfare, but, so long, but it just sort of happened. It just was a regular last show of the season kind of thing. All right, Dennis is singing, and we're going to take a break for some important messages here. May 1st, 1955, The Jack Benny Show on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Hi, this is Kyle Horvath with the White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board. If you want to get away from the big cities and get back to nature this summer, give us a call at 775-289-3720 or visit us online at elinevada.net. There's so much to do and see I can't mention it in 30 seconds, but check out our website and you'll see what Nevada is really all about. elinevada.net or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Give us a call at 775-289-3720 or visit us online at elinevada.net.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, That sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Dennis Day's song is over, so let's go back to the Jack Benny Show. May 1st, 1955.
Well, how'd you like it, Mr. Benny?
Oh, I was fine, Dennis. It'll probably sound even better, you know. Come in. Oh, hello, Miss Simon.
Hello.
Well, summer must be around the corner when my little secretary comes to rehearsal in a bare midriff.
Well, the weather's kind of warm, and this midriff dress is comfortable.
Yeah, but it must be very inconvenient.
What do you mean, inconvenient?
No place to carry a gopher.
Dennis, stop. Now, Miss Simon, you know I'm not a very strict boss, and I don't care how you dress when you're not working. But I do think those bare midriffs are a little immodest.
You're modest, but everybody out here wears them.
Not my girlfriend, Gladys. She's too modest to wear them.
Well, she's not modest. She just doesn't want to show her tattooing.
Dennis.
She has more pictures on her than Channel 2.
Now, be quiet. One little battleship and everybody makes a big thing out of it. Anyway, Miss Simon, I don't want to be dictatorial, but just because you've been working for me, you know, for 9 years, I don't think you should take advantage of me by coming to rehearsal in a bare midriff. My last secretary was with me for 10 years and never wore a bare midriff.
But he was a man.
That's beside the point. You know, sometimes... Excuse me. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Mr. Kitzel.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kitzel. Hey, what can I do for you?
Nothing at all. I just called up to tell you how much I enjoyed your radio program last week.
Well, I'm glad you listened to it.
I didn't listen. I was there at the show.
Oh, that's nice. Where'd you get the tickets?
What tickets? I was nonchalantly walking down the street when all of a sudden somebody threw a sack over me, gave me a bump on the head, and the next thing I knew, somebody is whispering in my ear, "Welcome to CBS."
That's the way we get them in here. Oh, I see.
And you know, when the program was over, I went back to see you, but you was already gone. But I did see that other comedian.
Which other comedian?
Edgar Bernstein.
You mean Edgar Bergen?
Yeah.
He's very funny. By the way, Mr. Kitzel, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Oh, this is because I now have a job as an extra in pictures. I already worked in 6 westerns.
In Western pictures?
Yeah, they went that way. And smile when you say that, partner.
Say, you're pretty good.
Oh, you should see me on a horse. Hoo-hoo-hoo.
Oh, can you ride?
The best. When I'm on a horse, I'm looking like Hopalong.
Cassidy?
Who, me? You know I'm working now steady in pictures, Mr. Benny, and if you ever come out to Republic Studios, please look me up.
I will.
Just ask for Tex. Everybody knows me.
Tex, where'd you ever get a name like Tex?
Well, it's natural. After all, I was born in Texas.
Mr. Kitzel, you were born in Texas?
Deep in the heart of.
Oh, what do you know? I thought that... Oh, excuse me, Mr. Kitzel, I better hang up. There's someone at the door.
You're excused. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hi, Jack. I'm not late for rehearsal, am I?
No, come on in, Don. I'm glad you brought the sportsman with you. Hi, fellas. I'm sick of that, too, already. Say, come on in, everybody. Say, Don, how come you're dressed that way?
Oh, I just came from the golf course, Jack. I played 18 holes this morning.
I didn't know you played golf.
Yeah, I just took up the game. I take lessons twice a week now.
Oh, that's not... How are you playing?
Oh, pretty good. But I'm having a lot of trouble with my tee shots.
Well, Don, hitting off the tee is one of the easiest shots in golf. You just remember one thing. Keep your eye on the ball.
That's my trouble. I know it's down there, but I'm not sure where.
Well, with you, that could be a problem, you know. What course did you play today?
Oh, I was out at your club, Jack, Hillcrest, and I was doing all right until I came to that fourth green, you know, the one that's down in a gully.
Wait a minute, Don. The fourth green isn't in a gully. It's on top of a hill.
Not anymore.
Look, Don, if you...
Come on, let's get this rehearsal over with. My gopher's getting hungry.
Dennis, you said it was a joke. Now leave it alone.
I think we ought to get started. It's getting late, Jack.
Jack? Miss Iman, you called me Jack.
What do you want me to call you, Blue Eyes?
Not during business hours. That's for night. Or drive-in movies. Now, come on, let's all go in the den and rehearse. Huh?
Boss, you can't rehearse. The scripts haven't arrived from the studio yet.
That's funny. They always send them to my house so we can... Hey, that must be the scripts now. Come in.
Hello, everybody. Long time no see.
Well, Steve. Hey, kids, this is my publicity man, Steve Bradley. Steve, what brings you around? What's up?
Benny, I'm worried. You're slipping, Dad. We got to do something about your publicity.
Publicity? Well, that's your department.
I know, and I've been working like crazy to get a good stunt to land you on the front pages. Benny, I want you to be as well known as Smog.
Smog? What's good about smog?
It's in the public eye. Oh, Benny, I'm thinking every minute.
No, bro. Look, Steve, can't you wait?
Can't wait. No time to lose. I thought this was so urgent that when I couldn't reach you by telephone, I sent a message by carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon? Well, that must have been the pigeon that landed on my windowsill.
Yeah. Didn't you see the message tied to its ankle?
Message? Rochester!
Don't look at me. You ate the legs.
See, I thought the paper on that leg was a pandy.
Now, Benny, I've been giving this serious thought. We've got to come up with something for you, something unusual, some sort of a stunt.
Now, wait a minute, Steve. Wait a minute. I don't want any more of your stunts. The last time you had an idea, you wanted me to go to Houston, climb into the Big Inch pipeline, and swim all the way to New York. What was so great about that?
I had it timed so you would crawl out the other end on Groundhog Day.
Well, I'm not doing it.
Wait a minute, Benny. Wait a minute. Hold it.
What?
Why didn't I think of this before? What an idea.
All right, what is it?
Baseball.
Huh?
Look, some years ago, Bob Hope bought himself the Cleveland Indians. Bing Crosby bought the Pittsburgh Pirates. And today, who is everybody talking about?
George Goebel.
What?
And there you are.
Oh, be quiet. Now, Steve, what are you getting at?
Benny, you've got to have a baseball team.
Well, look, Steve, I like the idea, but a baseball team is liable to run into a lot of money.
Leave it to me, Benny. I'll find you a team that won't cost you much dough.
Well, good.
I'll get you a team that's unknown, but with a proper training, in a year or two, you can sell them to somebody else and clear yourself a net profit of $1 million.
Gee, his eyes didn't pop out like that when I came in with a bare midriff.
Please, Jeanette.
Miss Iman during working hours.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Well, all right, Steve. It sounds like a great idea. Go out and get me a baseball team.
Leave it to me, Benny. So long, everybody.
You know, kids, I think Bradley's got a good idea with that baseball
He
team.
certainly has, Jack, and look at the commercials you can do.
Well, I think this baseball idea is going to work out great. It'll give me a lot of publicity.
You're right, Jack. After all, baseball's the national sport. Everybody loves it.
Don's right, Mr. Benny. You know, yesterday a bunch of my friends came over to my house and asked me to play baseball.
Oh, did you play?
Sure, but every time I hit the ball, I broke a window.
What?
I broke 7 windows.
Well, kid, maybe when you went outside, you played too close to the house. Oh, outside! Look, Dennis, why can't you...
Well, Jack, look, I haven't been home yet from the golf course, so let's get on with the rehearsal, will you?
John, we can't. The scripts aren't here yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, why don't you call up CBS and see what's wrong?
All right, I will. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. I know a way to save 80 cents. I'll drill a hole and I'll look through the fence. Dum-dum-dee-dum-da-dee-dum.
Oh, Mabel, what is it, Gertrude? Your outside line is flashing. You get it, will you? Okay. Columbia Broadcasting System. Oh, hello. What? Just a minute, I'll connect you. Mabel, it's Mr. Benny. I wonder what Blossom Boy wants now. He wants me to connect him with the mimeograph department because they haven't delivered his scripts yet. Scripts? Well, how do you like that? And he palms himself off as an ad-lib comedian. Yeah. He couldn't ad-lib a click if he had fool's teeth. Ain't it the truth?
B. Benadera and Shirley Mitchell. They were funny. The Jack Benny Show, May 1st, 1955, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of the Jack Benny Show, May 1st, 1955.
I don't care if he can ad-lib or not. I think he's cute. Now, why should you think he's cute? He's gone out with me more times than he has with you. He has not. He has too. Oh, Mabel, let's not argue. When we look like we do, we should be happy we got each other. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm expecting Mr. Benny to pop the question any day now. Pop the question? Why, Mabel, how do you know what happened? What did he say to you? But tell me all about it.
Which foot is fuzzy?
I won't answer till you tell me. Come on, Mabel, don't keep me in suspense. I'm getting all over goose pimples. Don't hold out on me. You've agitated my curiosity. Tell me, what?
Through the switchboard.
Huh? Okay. Due to a strike, only emergency calls will be handled. Now, Mabel, tell me what happened. What did he say to you?
He didn't say anything. He just kissed me, and I felt so silly.
Why?
When he kisses me with those thick glasses on, I feel like I'm window shopping.
Yeah, I know just what you mean.
You do?
Yeah. One time when he was kissing me, I saw my reflection in his glasses, and I thought my mother was watching us.
Operator, I want the mimeograph department. What? Well, when you get them, tell them to send the scripts out to my house. Goodbye. Well, kids, there's nothing to do but wait, I guess. We won't be able to rehearse now.
Hold everything, Benny, I'm back.
Steve.
Yeah, Benny, you wanted a baseball team and Bradley didn't let you down.
Hey, that's swell.
Now, just sign this contract and the team is yours for $1,000.
Good. There you are. Now, what's the name of the team?
The BBBs.
BBBs, what's that?
Benny's Buxom Bloomer Girls.
Bloomer Girls?
Certainly, Benny, I can see it now. All over the sporting page. Pictures of Bob Hope and his Indians, Bing Crosby and his Pirates, Jack Benny and his Bloomers.
But, Steve, you can't do this to me.
So long, Benny. See you out the field.
Steve! How do you like that? A girls' team. I got a mind to...
Oh, Mr. Benny.
What?
Your slip is showing.
Imagine a girls' baseball team.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's an important message from the United States Forestry Service. Picnic time and camping time have frequently become disaster time. A lighted match or cigarette carelessly discarded, the burning embers of a campfire often start forest fires that destroy watersheds and burn millions of acres of timber that is vitally needed to build America's strength. When you're in the woods, do your part to prevent forest fires. Be sure every campfire, every match, every cigarette is out. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Thank you.
Well, Rochester, I got to rush over to the studio and do my last television show of the season.
Yes, I know. Say, boss, usually on your last show you send out tickets to all your friends.
I did this time, Rochester. Everyone I know is going to be in that audience except Mr. Scarlatti.
Mr. Scarlatti? Who's he?
My fourth violin teacher. May he rest in his straitjacket. Anyway, folks, I'll see you in a few minutes on my television show and next week again on radio.
From May 1st, 1955, Jack Benny on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. 0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the second part of this 5-part Yours Truly Johnny Dollar story, The Callicles Matter. This episode originally broadcast May 1st, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
This is Mrs. David Parsons.
Well,
I called Mr. Ecker, and he told me where you're staying.
I was just on my way out to your home, Mrs. Parsons.
Well, I'd rather you didn't come to the house, Mr. Dollar. Couldn't I meet you somewhere?
Well, sure.
Better still, why don't I come by your hotel and pick you up?
That'll be all right.
15 minutes, is that too soon?
Oh, that's fine. Mrs. Parsons.
Yes?
Your father-in-law know you're meeting me?
If he did, I think he'd kill me.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Eastern Casualty and Trust Company, number 25 Yardley Boulevard, Boston, Massachusetts. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Callicles Matter. Item 2, $4.55, one long-distance phone call to Dave Blaine, Chief Investigator for Eastern Casualty. I explained to him that in spite of our information that David Parsons, Jr. had been missing for 10 days, people in Los Angeles connected with him seemed indifferent or irritated by an investigation. I told him how old man Parsons had tried to throw me out 3 times when I got around to suggesting that perhaps his son might have flown the coop with some money in bonds. Blaine told me to keep trying and keep on trying to get to the bottom of it. I took him at his word. It was a little after 2 o'clock when I saw Mrs. Dorothy Parsons pull up in front of the Beverly Hilton lobby. She wore a ribbon to hold her hair back in the convertible. A sundress showed off a pair of well-tanned shoulders. The dark glasses, the cigarette holder, and the smile did the rest in making her a very pretty woman. I suppose I look worried.
I keep you waiting long?
No, not at all.
What's the matter?
I don't know. Yes, I do, too. It just struck me. I'm here to see about your missing husband. Now it looks like we're going on a picnic.
I think you don't have to wear sackcloth and ashes to do your job. No, really, do you?
Well, it sometimes helps on a job like this.
You disapprove of me, don't you?
I disapprove of everybody. I have to, Mrs. Parsons.
All the time? Forever?
Only until the thing's straightened out.
Until you separate the chaff from the wheat, I suppose.
Yeah. Where are we going?
Well, I thought you might like a drive down by the ocean.
I'd rather be facing you across a desk.
You shan't do that, Mr. Dollar. I won't allow it. Stop looking so glum.
How's that?
Oh, I don't know. I just don't know. Would you feel any better if you faced me across a luncheon table? That's as close to a desk as I can think of.
Yeah, let's try that out. I gave her what I could of a smile and let her think it over. She drove well, keeping her eyes to the road, both hands on the wheel. She was the careful kind. The rearview mirror was adjusted 2 or 3 times, looking for traffic cops. We went off Sunset Boulevard and onto the road that is set right by the ocean. The sun was shining. The air was warm. And I got to thinking, what business did I have worrying about a missing man on such a nice day?
Oh.
What is it?
Come on. I'm tired of driving. Let's walk along that lovely strip of beach.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Please, Mr. Dollar, please. It's such a lovely day and the air is so good. Walk with me. Talk with me. Just a little while, and then we can talk about all these other things, please. I married David when I was not quite 18. He was almost 30. Let me see, that was 14 years ago. 14 years.
Go on.
He joined his father's firm, and he's been there ever since. We live well, socially, economically. I guess I belong to the Keep Your Social Position in Mind club, don't I?
I don't know.
What do you think of me?
I met you today to talk about your husband, Mrs. Parsons.
But I've been talking about my husband. I told you about meeting him, about being married to him. What else is there to tell?
Now tell me about missing him.
What can I tell you about that?
Well, where he is, for one thing.
I don't know.
Any ideas?
No, none.
You're so pretty, I almost believe you.
Oh, you are a human being.
But I don't believe you.
I don't care. Tell me how pretty I am.
I don't understand you. I didn't understand your father-in-law. David Parsons is missing. No one wants to talk about it, do anything about it, make any moves. Now, what is this?
You're cross with me now.
Yeah. For some reason, I'd assume you'd want me to talk to somebody about your husband. You'd want to talk to somebody, too, that you'd want him back, want to know if he's well, if he's in trouble. And what happens? You spend an hour on a sunny afternoon showing me your best profile, doing everything but getting down to the business at hand. I don't get it.
I'm sorry. I guess I don't blame you. What is it you want to know?
When did you see him last?
Last Tuesday morning at breakfast at home.
Tell me about him.
There's nothing to tell, really. He ate his breakfast, read his paper, put on his coat, kissed me, and left. I called his office at noon about something or other, and his secretary told me he hadn't come in. I really didn't know he wasn't around till Wednesday afternoon, late.
How's that?
Well, Tuesday night, I went out with friends. Wednesday, I slept late. I presume David was in bed when I came in. I didn't look in his bedroom. Wednesday afternoon, Mr. Ecker called and asked to speak to David. Mr. Ecker told me David hadn't been in his office all day Tuesday. I checked his bedroom, and his bed hadn't been slept in Tuesday night, so I called my father-in-law.
Why didn't you call the police?
Why should I?
It only seems reasonable to me. Go on.
Mr. Parsons told me not to mention the matter to anyone, that he'd take care of it. He hinted... Oh... I'm bad at this, Johnny, because, well, you have no idea... Well, I mean, Mr. Parsons Sr. doesn't hint. He's a very blunt person.
I met him this morning, yeah.
But I'll say he hinted that David might have gone off with someone else.
I see. Has he ever disappeared before?
Oh, yes, many times.
When was the last time?
Oh, last fall. For 3 days he was gone. Before that, it was in the spring. He was gone for a matter of 5 or 6 days.
When he came home on these occasions, what did he say? What did he do?
Nothing.
Oh, no, I can't believe that. I mean, if he's gone a few days without leaving any kind of word, when he returned, he must have had some explanation for it.
Oh, I suppose he did. He might have said something about getting even. I don't recall.
Well, look at me. Now, this is serious.
I'm looking at you.
You said you've been married to him 14 years. You said he joined his father's firm shortly after.
Yes.
What did he do before that?
He studied and traveled.
Didn't work?
Oh, he wrote or something. I don't know.
What kind of a man is he?
He's David Parsons, Jr. He's impeccable, brilliant, and honest.
As a husband?
Aren't you overstepping yourself somewhat?
A lot of personal questions will have to be answered about him by someone.
He's a very devoted husband and father.
Except for those times when he disappears.
Except for those times, yes.
Do you suppose he'll reappear this time?
Yes, of course. Why? Don't you?
He's your husband, not mine. The wind's coming up.
Yes.
Feel like some lunch?
I feel very much like going home.
All right. Mrs. Parsons.
Yes.
Did you expect me to make love to you out here this afternoon?
What kind of a question is that?
It's to the point. Did you?
Yes.
Why?
It's not a nice question to ask me. I think sometimes I'm quite attractive.
I think you must be attractive all the time.
Thank you. Why didn't you kiss me?
We, don't have to go into that. Unless, of course, you want to tell me why you stalled me all afternoon. Do you?
Touché, Mr. Dollar.
One thing more. When I spoke with you earlier, you asked my advice in this matter. I advised you call the police about your husband.
Did you?
You know I did. I also advised your father-in-law to do the same thing. He said he'd kill me and himself before he'd call the police in. You said, or I thought you said, you'd call him in anyhow. That you were concerned about your husband and wanted him found. Did I get that wrong?
I don't want any police, Mr. Dollar. I don't think they're necessary. David will come back.
No police. What made you change your mind? Your father-in-law?
You said you only had one more question.
I lied. I've got 1,000 questions.
I should call home.
Come on. walked up to the highway and climbed back into the car. She drove to the nearest filling station and public telephone booth. I waited in the car while she made a phone call. Some high school kids drove up in a jalopy and sweatshirts and jeans. They waved 10 pounds of wieners at me for no reason at all and asked me if I'd like to go on a wiener fry. I told them no. An old man with a bamboo fishing pole came in. He dropped a soggy gunny sack on the pavement while he disappeared around at the back. I went over and peeked in. 3 pretty good-sized perch smelled out at me. I looked off at the ocean, just in time to see a pair of surfboard riders catch the creamy top of a roller, climb up on their feet, and wave to their girlfriends sitting in the sand. Nothing was wrong with the world. Nothing at all. Life was going on just fine. David Parsons, Jr. had been missing 10 days, and nothing was wrong at all. I lit up a cigarette. What difference did it make if a man was missing 10 days? Not a bit. Especially to his wife, who looked her prettiest when she told me practically nothing about his disappearance. The ashes fell on my lap.
I'm sorry I took so terribly long, Mr. Dollar. I had to call my father-in-law's home, too. There was a message for me.
Look, I'm afraid I'm going to have to go over your head, your father-in-law's head, everybody's. When I get back in town, I'm going to tell the police about this. I just decided while I was sitting waiting for you.
There won't be any need for that.
Huh?
David's come back.
What?
He's home. Now, that was the message. He'll be there when we get there. You see, all of your worry was for nothing. You and I, we could have had a perfectly lovely afternoon if we'd known this, couldn't we?
If you say so, Mrs. Parsons.
Look out!
You all right, brother? Yeah. Oh,
take it easy.
Better give me a hand with her. Can somebody call an ambulance?
Yeah, sure. You take it easy. I'll take care of her until...
What is it?
I'm sorry, mister. She's dead.
Now, here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, trouble comes early and stays late. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
From May 1st, 1956, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. By the way, if you want to order cassettes, CDs of our shows, we don't provide them. They're only available on demand on the internet. But you could also get shows from our friend Ted at RadioMemories.com. He provides shows on CD, cassette, or on flash drive for your computer. Save you the trouble of downloading them. RadioMemories.com. Please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time you roll around here on your favorite radio station. Now, if you miss a day on this station, or if your station doesn't carry us all week long, you can find our shows at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon, or Facebook. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We do 21 hours of the greatest radio shows each and every week. And you can also find our shows at my webpage, which is classicradio.stream. classicradio.stream. You can stream our shows. You can find our social media links. You can learn about building a collection of your own, and you can also contact me, classicradio.stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows can be found right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.